Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's stream. How is everyone doing? If you can hear me, let me know what your favorite Halloween candy is in the stream. This hat, by the way, is my daughter's. I told her I would wear it today on the stream, and so I am. I also have some spooky voices. So, we got all kind of stuff going on in today's stream. I hope all of you are having a great, wonderful day. Halloween. Happy Halloween if you celebrate Halloween. Hopefully it's something that you do celebrate, even if you're not a kid or if you don't have kids. I just hit the mic there. I do apologize. But we are here today. I had to push the stream one day. Andrew was so kind to allow me to do so. And we are coming at you at 1 o'clock Eastern time today. I know it's a little early for you West Coasters, but you know what? We got folks from all over the world who are here today, and we're going to do a general Q&A. And so I love doing these. I love streaming for TubeBuddy. It is absolutely so much fun to get on here and answer your YouTube questions. There's a lot of stuff happening in the YouTube world right now, a lot of good positive things, as well as some things that are not as good. So I said better than streaming at 8 a.m. It's true. It's very much better than streaming at 8 a.m. You're exactly right. So just ignore my hat. Again, it's my daughter's hat. She wanted me to wear it today. I had a big beard I was going to wear and a mask, but I was afraid if I did something too much, I didn't want TubeBuddy to get flagged on the account for for different things like that. So hopefully you guys are ready and willing to ask me some questions. Andrew put the Google form in the chat there, in the chat box there. And so if you would like to ask a question today, please go to that form, ask a question. I will not be answering questions that are, things such as, how do I grow my YouTube channel? How do I get more subscribers? Those general, questions that are generalized. Honestly, there's too much amazing stuff out there that can help you. And so basically, it's one of those things to where, sorry, I'm having some technical issues. I'm just making sure I understand that. So basically, you go to the form and ask me a question, and I will answer the questions starting from the first one that I receive to the oldest one that I receive. So I do have a question, though, and I hope you guys will allow me to do this. What are your favorite Halloween memories? Let me know in the chat. Like, what are your favorite Halloween memories from a child? And if you're a child now and you still, from when you were a child, if you're still a child now and you're watching this, why aren't you at school? Anyways, let me know what your favorite Halloween memories are. I'm going to pull up the form now. I had it pulled up earlier, but for some reason it closed out. Let's open it up now. All right, perfect. I'm going to open up the form now and open up the chat room. Beautiful. All right, so if you do ask questions in the chat, I will try to get to those at a later time. If you're asking what microphone I'm using, it is a Shure SM7B. I'm running it into a Focusrite Starlet 2i2, and I am also utilizing it's called a cloud filter or a cloud amplifier. So if that's something that you're interested in, I can definitely give you more information. So if you want more information on that, I can give you more information on that. We're going to go ahead and dive into some of the questions, though. So please put your name in the question as well so I can answer it, okay? That way I can also give a shout out to who you are and maybe your YouTube channel. I got a question coming in from Colette, and she said, would you agree or disagree that fall/winter is the best time to grow your channel? Now, there's a lot of things about this that I do want to say. And you know, as far as fall or winter, a lot of people say, oh, it's when you make the most money as a YouTube partner because it's when most people are spending all of their ad revenue. The thought process is they have all of this ad revenue built up. They had a budget at the beginning of the year, beginning of Q3 or 4, and they haven't spent near that budget, and so they're offloading all of that budget to basically say, you know, hey, we've spent all of our budget to the big bosses or whoever it may be. And so that's one of the things to where, is it easier or could you, you know, grow your channel faster in the fall or winter? Possibly so, but I don't think there's any hard data as far as, oh, if you start a channel now or if you try to grow a channel from, say, August to December, it's going to be much easier. Now, it's my favorite time of year. And so for me, I'm more motivated. I'm more, you know, maybe more passionate. So maybe that's the case. But as far as hard data, there's no hard data that says in the fall of the year, it's much, much easier to grow a YouTube channel. That's not the case. And so that's one there. Andrew said, my favorite Halloween memory is the time I stayed in and didn't have to give out candy. I love giving out candy. That's one of my favorite things. I now have a 4-year-old, and so we're off actually receiving candy as opposed to giving it. But I leave a big tub of candy at my door, and normally the kids in the neighborhood do a pretty good job, and it's one of those things to where I, you know, put a little note and said take a handful and move on, something like that. Super user, how are you? It's good to see all of you guys here in the chat so early. I really do appreciate you guys. Don't forget to go over to the forum and ask us any question that you may have. So give me 1 second here. I'm going to go to the next question. Perfect. All right. Next question today coming in from Dewey. I believe it's Eric, Dewey Eric Jones at gmail.com. What makes a great YouTube channel trailer? Man, I haven't heard channel trailer questions in a hot minute. What makes a great channel trailer for me is going to be a channel trailer that lets me know who this person is and what to expect on their channel. And it's also something that's not going to drag on and on. Think about a good movie trailer. It doesn't spoil too much. It doesn't tell you what the movie's about, but it makes you intrigued to go watch the movie or to find out more information. And so it's one of those things to where I want you guys to understand that a channel trailer is meant for a couple of things. It's meant to drive people to subscribe, right? Or drive people to find out more about you and your channel and what you're about. And so you want to bring people back to your channel. And so make it maybe 1 minute to 3 minutes. Make it very alluring for people to come in and say, oh, I want to know what Dusty's channel is about because of that channel trailer. Think of good movie trailers that you've seen and try to mimic the tactics that they use. I hate movie trailers that spoil the movie for me. I want movie trailers that just give me enough, just a taste, to make me want to click more and more, to find out more and more about that channel. So that, to me, is what makes a very good channel trailer. Power Matrix, How to Master the Dark Arts. It's kind of, I guess it's fitting for a Halloween stream. How do you fully take advantage of trends to grow your channel? My videos demonstrate some strategy concepts using fictional characters and real people. I would need to know more about that. Tells me a little bit about your channel, but how do you take full advantage of trends to grow your channel? I like to use Google Trends. I go to Google Trends and I see what's trending, what's happening, and I kind of go for that. A lot of times, I remember when the Nintendo Switch was released, I did a bunch of Nintendo Switch tutorials. I remember every time a new iPhone is released, a new one of these guys is released, I get the phone, I search for the most common questions for that new phone that's coming in Google on YouTube, and I do those videos normally to hundreds of thousands of views. You can use the Keyword Explorer on TubeBuddy. Oh, Andrew just said that. There's so many different things that you can do to find out what's trending. Like right now, it's Halloween, right? At the beginning of October, if you're an artist, who do tutorials on YouTube, you could have done a tutorial, how to. My hat's getting a little interfered with my headphones here. I apologize. And so with that being said, look at what's trending, look at what's going on. Like right now, Mr. Beast is doing all the whole thing with Team Trees, which I believe is amazing. I meant to open with that. I completely forgot with all the Halloween goodness going on. But what he's doing with Team Trees and planting 20 million trees using the power of YouTube and the power of the people here. With that being said, take that, make a video about, trees and what trees do for the environment and things that we need to do. Use things that are going. Use things that, it's like a snowball. Once it starts rolling down a hill, it's going to get bigger and bigger. And so look what's working for other creators similar to you in your niche and go from there. See what's working for them. And I think that you're going to find a lot of success. Thriftastic. I love that name. What a great name, Thriftastic. Hey, Dusty, I'm just setting up my YouTube channel, starting a channel in the reselling niche. Should I niche down to just talking about one specific platform and then branch out? Thank you. I actually watched a couple of folks in this exact niche that you're talking about. I actually had a couple of them on my podcast not too long ago. Honestly, when you're talking about a niche like yours, when you're talking about, thrifting and you're talking about selling on eBay or Amazon or something like that, I think if you're just in the general niche of, hey, I'm a thriftastic, is my YouTube channel name, I'm doing this and I'm starting a channel around, reselling and being a reseller and how to do this and maybe how to make money. Just the general niche of reselling is going to be broad slash toned down enough to where I think you can find a lot of success doing it that way. I don't think you have to niche down to, oh, I'm just doing eBay or I'm just covering Amazon or I'm just doing garage sales. I would actually, it would be, to me, I would actually try to just be around a broad niche of reselling, being a reseller on YouTube, and how to resell. I wouldn't worry too much about niching down. I think a lot of people hear all the YouTube educators out there say, niche down, which is 100% correct. I agree with that. But I just want to, have you understand this, that if you are going to niche down, there is something that's called niching down too much. And so you do want to be aware of that. And so I think if you just do a general resell channel, I definitely want to have you understand that. I think that would be good. Andrew says, I say niche down to build traction to expand. Yeah, that could be a good way of putting it as well. But I think I would need to know more about your channel as well, right? Like what else as far as your channel, what else are you trying to do? Are you talking about breaking it down from eBay and Amazon and garage selling? Maybe give me a little more detail. I'd be able to help you a little better as far as that goes. But great question, by the way. Andrew says, what is the scariest, spookiest change, in your opinion, on YouTube since you joined? What a great question. So here's the thing. I am going to talk about a couple of things. I remember when the change happened to the partner program. It didn't affect me because I met all the requirements very easily. But I remember I was scared about that because I was afraid they were going to continue to up the requirements. MMA, what's up? How are you doing, Kyle? Right near home, how are you? All of you guys in here, good to see all of you. So fun to see all these familiar faces. So the scariest to me, obviously, it started out with the partner changes and things like that, having to get so many hours of watch time, so many subscribers. I was worried they were going to move that litmus test or that actual requirement to be way above what I was, and it's one of those things that was very scary to me. I talked to a bunch of smaller YouTubers who were very, very scared about that as well. So that wasn't really the scariest. And then I think once not really the adpocalypse, but when YouTube started, doing things that I thought were, affecting people's freedom of speech. That's very scary to me when we start to, especially in the political landscape and the landscape of being able to share your opinions and feelings on certain topics. I think YouTube does a very good job of filtering through the trash, per se. And so with that being said, that was probably the scariest thing to me, is when I thought maybe they were going a little too heavy-handed on the freedom of speech. And that really worried me. And I was hoping they were not going to go too far one way or the other. And so that was probably the scariest to me. I love that question, though. What's the spookiest? change in YouTube. I don't know. What would you guys say would be the spookiest change as far as YouTube with your time being on the platform? That's a great question. Gothic Society Clan. A lot of spooky channels coming out today on Halloween. I love it. I have a question, but how do you use TubeBuddy for the best video tags from scratch? Or do you know how any good guides? I just found 1,000 videos with the same one info over and over again. Yeah, that's going to be very true when you're talking about tutorials and things such as that. But as far as, tagging a video, what are the best practices for tags? I will tell you what I do. I use the Tag Explorer, which is the TubeBuddy tool that we've talked about before. Dan said terrifying. Yes, that's terrifying. Dan, how are you? Hopefully you're doing well. Haven't talked to you in a while. Spookiest change on YouTube, what they're doing to children's channels. Yeah, I didn't want to talk about that too much because I'm still learning more and more about that. I actually am having a very, very big kids YouTuber on the podcast, hopefully next week, Jeremy, who is going to hopefully allow me to ask him some more in-depth questions. It's very scary. To not have comments, as well as no monetization, depending on if your video is deemed for or directed towards kids. Very scary one there. So my tag process goes like this. I go to YouTube. I search for a video that's similar to the one that I'm uploading. I see the tags that they use. I put them into a Google Doc or a notepad or whatever it may be. I then go to the TubeBuddy tool, the Tag Explorer, and I look at what TubeBuddy is recommending and what their suggested tags are. I add a bunch and a handful of those. I go to the similar videos. I kind of cross-promote, kind of look at them and see which ones they're using and which ones they're... You can also see, by the way, on TubeBuddy with a green number, like you can see where that video ranks for that key term or keyword. And so with that being the case, I look at those terms and see what's working for them, what they're ranking for, and why they're ranking for that. Is it the title? Is it the description? Is it the tag? Whatever it may be. And so I look at those. So it is from scratch, but here's what I do. On my script, for my actual video, I have about 3 to 5 titles that I may use. I have a couple of thumbnail ideas in Photoshop. I got 2 or 3 different templates opened, and I use different colors, and I see which ones I like. And I even A/B test on occasion. I know you didn't ask about that, but I'm telling you my process. Secondly, on my Google Doc down below, I have the keywords, maybe 3 to 5 that I really want to rank for, whether it be a specific individual keyword or a specific key term, okay, which may be 2 to 3 to 5 words. I then see which videos are ranking for those terms, for those actual words, and I go from there. And so I go there. Andrew said, time to log off. Bye, everyone. All right. Talk to you later, Andrew. Thank you so much for everything. Hopefully you have a good rest of your day. If that means that you're leaving, I'm not sure. But anyways, yes. You're talking about your time on YouTube. Yeah, I've been on YouTube a hot minute as well. But that's a great question, though. That's kind of the process that I utilize when it comes to... It was just a joke. Andrew, you scared me. It's like Halloween, you're spooking me, Andrew. I don't know what's going on here. He's been on the platform for half of his life. Yeah, Andrew is a youngin'. How old are you, Andrew? I think I've asked you this before. But great question. That's my process for tags. Apps That Rule ask, hey, Dusty, what are some good quick tips on increasing the average view duration? Love your podcast, by the way. Thank you. If you don't know what my podcast is, I host 2 podcasts, YouTube Creators Hub and the TubeBuddy Express Show. A new episode of the TubeBuddy Express podcast will come out tomorrow morning on Fridays, and new episodes of the YouTube Creators Hub podcast, where I interview creators just like you guys, come out on Wednesday/Thursday, depending on if my daughters are in a good mood that night before. So what are some quick tips on increasing average view duration? Number 1, get rid of that flashy intro at the beginning of your videos. Overrated. It's not going to work. People are going to drop out. I was working with a client this past week where they had this real long opening intro where it's like very flashy. It looked good. It lasted 21 seconds. Well, they looked at their view duration, the average view duration, and you can actually see on YouTube when people are dropping off. I got rid of my intro completely. And they got rid of their intro completely on a couple of new videos, and they saw their view duration go up 30 to 40%. So get rid of the intro to begin with. Andrew's 25, a youngin'. He's a young man. That's awesome. Secondly, as far as view duration, let people know what to expect in the first 3 to 4 seconds. Let them know, hey, this is Dusty, and in today's video, we're going to learn how to podcast. Boom. Let them know, boom, what they're going to get and the value they're going to get. That will that will get them to hold on to where you are. So let them know where they're going to go. Do a kind of call to action even at the beginning of the video. And also, don't ramble on. Like a podcast is where you can ramble and talk about more stuff like that. But on a video, don't ramble on. Like have a Google Doc or a notepad that lets you know the points you're trying to get across. And as you're editing, if you see all the fluff that you've added, go in there and, don't get so long-winded. It's one of those things to where people think that, as a rambler myself, Ike says, Dusty says not to ramble on as I ramble on. I thought that's what Ike was going to say. But if you really want to improve your view duration, you'll look at the data and the analytics. I really need you guys to understand that if you dive deep into that data and analytics, you're going to be able to see when people are falling off your videos and see what that may be. I had a client that I worked with that did a series that people were watching to like the 2-minute mark. And so I went to his videos, and I saw that at the 2-minute mark, every video he would do this, he would start pitching his website for like a whole minute. And I was like, Client X, why are you doing this? And he went on to say, I thought it was a good promotional tool. No, there's other ways to do that. Put it in the description, yada, yada. It's one of those things to where you look and see what the data is telling you. There's 80 people in here right now. This is awesome. People of Video, by the way, is an event that is being put on by my friend, Dan Courier. You just saw him in here. One of my good friends on YouTube, another YouTube educator. I would encourage you all, if you're looking for an event to go to on the East Coast, definitely check that out. Andrew made a good comment here. I love this comment. I've actually noted this on one of my podcasts. Data doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care at all about your feelings. It is going to tell you exactly what is going on your channel. So, yeah, Dan, hopefully the people of Video, I believe it's the first one ever going on in May. I was just looking at the speaker lineup. It's going to be killer. So definitely check that out. Don't forget, guys, you can issue and provide me questions if you want to on the Google form. Wow, what a great group of people we have in here right now. It's so cool to have you guys in here. I've streamed forever. Thriftastic, you're so welcome. Good luck on your channel, by the way. I really am excited for people like you who are getting into it. People ask me all the time, is it too late to start on YouTube? No, absolutely not. Get out there, put the time in, and you're going to see some growth. Here we go. Emmy's out there said, I started my channel as part of my computer course and have kept it going since. I do game recording of WoW, World of Warcraft. I've played WoW before. And some fan videos I've been having problems of getting views. Is there any tips you could give me to get more views? I would need to know more about your channel. I need to watch a couple of your videos. But, there's so many general things that I could tell you as far as this question goes. The number one thing I tell people is see what's working on your channel, see which videos are getting the most views, figure out what the algorithm is there, and go from it. That's the only advice I'd give you. Other than that, go to YouTube, search for the different general tips and tricks, and you're going to see a lot. Sunny Health and Fitness, do you see channels doing selfie recording on the road? Are they doing well? I've seen a lot of channels just do the whole point their phone at their face and talk. So no, yeah, I think those channels can do well. Obviously, if you're a channel that does health and fitness, I would think that you probably want to do more of the more highly produced video of having a camera recording what you're doing. Again, I don't know much about your specific channel, but if you're in the gym and you're like, hey, this is me, I'm at the gym, here's the workout that we're doing today, there's nothing wrong with that. I have something against the up and down video. I prefer video that's widescreen as opposed to portrait. That's just me. So again, it's up to you kind of what you want to do. I don't see very many channels doing it that way. And so with that being said, you can be successful doing anything on YouTube. I mean, if recent events are to be taken into consideration. Brent from Aisle or Window, what's going on? He is actually, Aisle or Window is actually one of my clients. I actually work with Brent on his channel, and he's doing some fun, interesting new stuff this month as well. So definitely go check him out if you're into travel. How important is color grading for for YouTube videos? I haven't done much and have been trying to get competent at it. Love all your help, by the way. Thank you, Brent. Hopefully you're doing well. When it comes to the colors you're capturing from camera, those matter a lot. When it comes to post-production color correction on YouTube, unless you're the Peter McKinnons of the world who, your channel is cinematography, unless you're doing things that you're trying to get noticed or known for your cinematography, I color correct very little on YouTube. But I also film weddings, which I know you do as well, Brent, kind of on the side. It's one of those things to where in my wedding videos, I spend hours upon hours color correcting using LUTs. If you don't know what a LUT is something that you can apply to a video, an entire video or clips of a video, and it applies a preset as far as color correction goes. Color correction means going in and correcting the color. And you also have to know a lot about Kelvin and this is getting into the weeds. Andrew just made a comment. They're not the same thing. Color correction means the correct color in camera. Color grading is the overall color feelings you edit in post. I've always said them differently, personally, but what he's saying is correct. He has much more experience probably color grading than I do. I love to color grade. It's kind of therapeutic to me. So I go in, I bring up the sliders. I use Premiere Pro, and so there's some inbuilt tools that I use in Premiere. In Final Cut Pro, there's also some inbuilt tools. I use Color Finale in Final Cut Pro. It's an exterior application. A lot of color grading and color correction in camera is going to be your eye. Are you talented at seeing it? Are you good at seeing, are the whites popping? Are the whites too blown out? These are things that you're going to learn over hours and hours into it. And so it's one of those things to where if you want to be a good at color in capturing footage as well as in post-production, you need to do it over and over and over again. Some people have it. Like some people can just see a piece. I have a guy who I film videos for weddings, and he legit can look at a clip and say, oh, this needs to be a little more green, or this needs to have a little more red into it if it's a sunset. And I let him help me color grade all of my drone footage because of how good that he is. Camera LUTs, also known as camera log conversions. Yeah, I didn't want to get too much into the technical terms here on the stream, but it's one of those things to where I love to, well, I got a little crazy with my words there. I love to work with the colors in my video. And Andrew is working on a video right now, he said, about color grading and color correction. So definitely go look at his channel, and I think you're going to see a lot more detailed information on color. I want to do a video on color too, but I want to make sure that I have it down exactly like I want it. Michael says, yeah, white balancing in the camera could save a load of time. Got to roll out and head back to work. Thanks, Dusty. Have a fantastic day. Apps, thank you so much for the question. It's good to have you there, to have you here. Hope you have a great day at work. I'm slightly red/green colorblind, so I'm appreciating the input since it's all new to me. Andrew, I'll keep an eye out for that video. Yeah, my wife says I'm colorblind because of certain outfits that I wear at times, but I'm just going to leave that there, right? I'm not going to say that I'm colorblind just because my wife says that I am. Shame on her. But yeah, color grading and color correction is a lot of fun if you're willing to dive into the weeds. Yeah, Andrew said there are some colorblind modes out there. Color is very important for my channel as I do art and crafting, but color correcting grading is way above my skill set in editing. I think that's probably a misconception. Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong here. I think that there is something that says, you don't want to overcolor something. I've watched a lot of wedding films and videos on YouTube where you're just like, whoa, like why didn't they just put the natural video of, why didn't they, it looks way overdone or overcooked is something that I use. And that's the term that I use. And so don't overdo it, but I don't think it's outside anybody's ability or skill set. I think that anyone can color correct and color grade. It's about getting in there, getting feedback from people who know what looks good, and also it's on camera too. Being able to adjust Kelvin, being able to know what ISO to use, aperture, shutter speed, all of that affects the raw footage that you're going to bring into your editor going forward. I'm a big tech head, so I love all of that. My whole belief is anyone can. Winky face, come on. But like Kyle said, like Andrew also said, I preach this a lot, so I try not to overemphasize this. People get tired of hearing me say this. If your audio is trash, or as the kids would say, if your audio is scuffed, no one's going to watch your video. I mean, I hate to break it to you, they're just not. So get the audio down first and then go. See, I know Brent's stuff. His audio is fine. So moving on to color correction and color grading is something that he's definitely should do. All right, so don't forget to ask me more questions over on the Google form or here in chat. I'll try to get to those as quick as possible. And if you're asking how to get more subs, how to get more views, remember, I'm not really going to answer many of those general questions. Carl said, I did a time lapse and it was so green. I had the white balance wrong, but I am learning to fix the color in VideoPad video editor. Cool. That's awesome. Lily says scuffed. Okay. Yeah, scuffed. That's what the kids are saying these days. That's what the kids are saying. What mic do you use? This is the Shure SM7B. Do you use Adobe Audition to improve audio? Every single time, Dewey. Every single time. I'm editing 3 wedding videos right now. And so on those films, what I'll do is I'll record the vows. I'll also record people answering like questions like, how did you meet? What's your favorite thing about your new bride or your new husband? And with that audio, I will always export that into Adobe Audition. I'll go in there. I really recommend looking or checking out Mike Russell here on YouTube. He can really tell you how to become an audio master. I've learned so much from him just on post-production. I know a lot working in radio, go through college and things like that. And so I do know a lot initially about audio, but Mike Russell is amazing. He is so wonderful how much content he has, free content on YouTube about how to maximize your current setup to get the best out of your audio. So a good question. It's a really good question. Adobe Audition is absolutely, I go in there, add some tweaks, add a little noise gate, pump up the dBs if I need to, and make it sound as good as possible. If I use music to cover up my bad GoPro audio, it does seem to keep people from complaining about audio. True. Let's see here. That's good, Andrew. I like that video link. That's good. You can be ugly. You can have bad light, but your audio can't be trash. I actually did a whole podcast on visual aesthetics and people who are good looking and the thought that they're going to be more successful. It was a really cool conversation. PokePress says, how much data is needed on a video/channel before analytics will show age/gender breakdowns? I'm not sure an exact answer to that question. I know if you've just started a channel, a couple of weeks, is not going to do it. Probably a couple of months, I would say. But if your channel's like 2, 3, 4 months old and you still don't have that data, you may want to check in and see what's going on. I would assume you should have it. Also, it's about quantity of content. Like if you only have 2 to 3 videos out there, I don't think YouTube will provide you with that, and even if they do, I don't know how accurate that data is going to be. You need as with any data, I'm a spreadsheet Nazi and nerd. As with any data, you want the sample size to be as big as you possibly can. You want that sample size to be as big as possible. Barnyard Chicken said, I don't like music in the background over the audio. I always say, when it comes to background music on top of a voiceover, you want that background music to be very low. I hate going to a video and I have that just especially with the music nowadays. I'm a music snob too, where the music is just not only is it not a good music track, but the music is so much louder than the voiceover, and so I can't hear what the person's saying. All I can hear is just the music. It's terrible. It's like this. It's like when people are trying to talk and, there's all kind of spooky music like this. I love that clip. It's so good. So good. All right, let's see if I can find some more questions here coming in from the chat. Don't forget, you can always ask the questions. I believe I skipped one. I believe question 1 I skipped here. There we go. Nitty and Ash said, how to make a title for a video. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, in my Google Doc, spooky ghost, Lily Tree, putting the ghost out there. Oh, geez, there's like some super high winds going on outside my office. That's why I looked up right there. So if you guys see me and I fall off here, I disconnect. No, that's what happened. So when it comes to titles for a video, Andrew's like dropping secrets for TubeBuddy in the chat. I love it. I love when Andrew starts dropping little tidbits. But don't say you heard from me. On my Google Doc for my video, what I always do is I put 3 to 5 perspective titles. And as I continue to create the video, as the video gets closer to completion, I can go back to that Google Doc and say, oh, I like this title better. Or this one will have, people will click on this one more than they would this one. And so, you probably want to have 2 to 3 to 4, maybe even 5, options to choose from, as you're creating a video. You also, with the title, you want to include the keywords, but you don't want to just keyword dump. You don't want to do a video on how to grow on YouTube and then your title be how to grow on YouTube, YouTube-growing on YouTube, simple. You don't want it to be that, right? You want it to be something that's natural, that sounds natural, but it also makes people want to click. We were talking about channel trailers earlier. You want it to be very clickable. You want it to tell them enough about the video to where they want to click, right? And so that's kind of where I would go as far as titles of a video. Again, a lot of it has to do with where you are on your channel and kind of what type of videos you're doing. Another question from Christina from Sunny Health and Fitness. Since this is my work channel, my personal is neglected. Only have my reel on there and one speed drawing. It's an old account, being there since early days of YouTube. Would it be terrible to continue with something so old? It's still a blank slate. No, it wouldn't be terrible at all. YouTube hasn't picked up on anything on that channel. You have only a couple of videos on there. If it's been neglected, that's fine. YouTube loves a current, onslaught of content. The only thing you don't want to do is you don't want to do 3 to 4 videos and then completely quit, right? Like YouTube's just starting to give you that traction, momentum, possibly in the algorithm, in the suggested results, and then you're just going to quit. No, I wouldn't do that. So make sure if you're going to do it, go full throttle, know that it's going to be something you want to do, and go forward with that. A good question, though. Kyle asked from right near home, you mentioned Mike Russell for audio. Do you have other resources that you recommend for learning more about Hello, am I back? Is it back? All right. Oh, man, I was like, I blame the wind. I don't know, like my internet went down, then this went down. I don't know what's going on. Refresh. If you've lost me there, just refresh if you don't see me, and I am back here. I wasn't even paying attention to the green line there that was saying. But back to what I was saying about resources. There's a guy who his name is Who Is Matt. He is a wedding videographer who is fantastic. About teaching you about color grading, and how to set up a camera. Also, there are other people who I recommend, obviously Nick Nemon, Daryl Eves for YouTube stuff, YouTube educators, as well as the TubeBuddy channel in general. I think we got some great resources here as well. For live streaming, I would hope that you would use my channel. I have a bunch of great live streaming tutorials on there. But as far as video production, Who Is Matt, Peter McKinnon, Casey Neistat did some old videos back in the day where he would show you how to do stuff and how to utilize stuff. If you use a Mac, Renee Ritchie is really good about teaching you how to use new devices that they come up with. A bunch of great people out there who can help you. But a great question, though. I have a lot of resources that I use. Power Matrix. Will adding a 4 to 10 second disclaimer affect average view duration? Can it be created to achieve suspense? I don't think a disclaimer is going to create that much suspense. Christina in the house. What's going on? Welcome to the stream, Christina, one of my good friends. Hopefully you're having a great day, a wonderful Halloween so far. It's good to see you in house. She's killing it, by the way. Go check her channel out. She's doing some fun stuff. I don't think a disclaimer will actually help drive suspense, especially if it's like one of those you see like for like commercials and stuff. It's like, you know, this drug may cause death and or whatever. You know, I'm not a big fan of disclaimers unless you just legally have to include it in your video. That's my opinion. PokePress, how much data is needed? Oh, already did that one. Sorry about that. Stout Helm says, I know you already touched on this a bit, but let's say you archive a podcast on YouTube. On your YouTube channel, what kind of title structure would you use to draw people in and not make people feel like they are behind? Probably get rid of the, you probably want to get rid of episode numbers on YouTube. If people see that you're like on episode 89, they're probably not going to watch that, thinking they've got to catch up, especially if it is something that, you know, you probably want to be caught up on older episodes. Probably get rid of the episode number, just title it. What I've found to be best for archiving my podcast, which I don't even do anymore on YouTube, the ones that did the best is when I just titled the video of what topic we talked about and didn't even put on there that it was a podcast. I think talking head videos are going to become more and more prevalent on YouTube, and they're going to become more and more successful because of the types of content YouTube is liking and pushing right now. But with that being said, probably get rid of the episode number and kind of go from there, title it from where it is. So yeah, test videos with and without the disclaimer and see kind of the different things that you'll see there. So that's what I would do. You can start throwing questions in the chat. We'll do some rapid fire questions the last 15, 20 minutes here of the stream. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me here through the going offline, coming back online. I blame the Halloween winds and the ghosts that are in house right now. All of these ghosts. You can hear them if you listen close enough. You can hear them. What are the upload defaults? Upload defaults are things that you want to have on every video, where basically if all of your videos are going to be in the education category, you make sure your upload defaults are there. Do you have certain tags that you add to every video? Put those in the tag upload defaults. It allows you to save specific presets on your descriptions and your tags and things such as that. How is my Halloween? My Halloween is great. My daughter went to school today dressed up as Fancy Nancy. She, I might pull her up here in a minute, let you guys see how she looked. She was so cute today. Tonight, she's going trick-or-treating as a wicked witch, and she is so excited. She told me, she said, Daddy, I'm not going as a nice witch. I want to be a mean witch. And so that's what she's doing. See if my wife puts something up here. There she is. See if you guys can see this. There we go. Let's refresh the stream here just in case. There she is. Right there. Fancy Nancy. That's my wife made that whole costume. So, Fancy Nancy. And that's my little one right there. She's in her Halloween pumpkin shirt there. So, you know, little bit and Big Boo. We call them Little Boo and Big Boo. I know it's kind of nerdy, but you know what we do as parents. We're sometimes nerdy. All right. Do you work for TubeBuddy? Who is involved? Who is the team? I do work for TubeBuddy. I am one of their content creators, content curators. I also host a podcast for them. I'm an affiliate for them and have been for a long, long time. Christina, she can meet my mother-in-law too, know how to be a mean witch. Oh man, I wish I had like one of the drum sounds. Wow, that's amazing. That is hilarious. She can meet my mother-in-law. See, I don't know about that. I have a wonderful mother-in-law. She's fantastic. I love her to death. She's nowhere near a mean witch. That's so good. That's so good. I'll have to ask you some questions off stream then to give her some pointers on how to be a mean witch. That's hilarious. Holy cow. Oh, I better go back over here. You guys can't see my face. I got a new light system coming in this week. Hopefully that's going to help me out. That's funny, Christina. Really good comment. But yeah, I'm one of on the stream team. I'm a content curator for them. It's fantastic. I know of Tuber tools, but are there any other great resources for transitions and things you can use with OBS? Yeah, Tuber tools is great. A buddy of mine, Roberto Blake, does those. Tuber tools is fantastic. Here's one that I recommend to everyone. You see them with my transitions if you go here. Nerd or Die, they're in affiliation with Streamlabs OBS, but with Nerd or Die, you can see here there are, have like Halloween themed alerts, and if you go here, you can watch the videos to see the different alerts that they have, and if you go here, you can see the different, they got little spooky alerts that come up here. I thought this was amazing. Little alerts that come up with like ghosts and things like that. Then you have like the webcam borders and things like that. So nerdordie.com is something that I would recommend. It's super, super cool. So Nerd or Die is something that I would highly recommend for you if you've already used Tuber Tools and like what they have to offer as well. But as far as who else is on the TubeBuddy crew, you can go to our site and see who that is. Urban Explorer, nice hat. Dusty, don't judge me, Neil. Don't come in here last minute as I'm about to get off and judge me, okay? This is the best hat, okay? If you haven't checked out Neil's channel, The Urban Explorer, one of my good friends as well, definitely go do so. But there's a lot of people on the TubeBuddy crew. I don't want to start naming them because I will miss somebody and I'll feel terrible once I log off, so I'm not going to name them. You can see who is part of the crew. Tell me some tools for animated video creation. I use, for anything animated, I use Adobe After Effects. I'm very much in the... I said the hat was nice. Geez, he's touchy. I am touchy. I love Neil. But yeah, I use Adobe After Effects. There's other tools you can use. You can even use Adobe Flash. They used to have a program they called Flash. You could do it there. But there's some free tools as well. Canva has some kind of real inexpensive tools you can use as well. PowerPoint, things like that. If you're looking into getting into animation. Wow, you guys are chatting. Like, the chat's going so fast, I can't see what's happening. Another question coming in from MyPo Games. Are the tags TubeBuddy give me only for international visitors or also good to get found from German visitors? I would assume they'd be used for across the board. It wouldn't be geographically based. Andrew, correct me on that. So I need tags to be found for them as well. I don't think that has anything to do with it. Some gaming tips from YouTube. Here's what I always tell people who are wanting to get into the video game space on YouTube. Be different. Don't just play a video game and talk over it. You need to have your stitch, your niche, whatever you want to call it. And so you be different. If you are a YouTube video game content creator, be different. Roberto, music help. I have 3 different topics that I use on my channel. Should I continue doing this, or should I try to have 3 channels with the different focuses? I would need to know more about my your channel. I mean, I do a bunch of different topics on my channel, but if one of the topics is about motorcycles, the other one is about knitting and crocheting, then yes, do 2 different channels. But if they are in the same niche or same space, keep them there. Do different series, or what I call YouTube shows, on your channel, and go from there. Neil said, Dusty, did you check out my live from Facebook the other day as a band? Yes, I did watch that. That was good. How's the new hardware coming? I know you got some new tools to play on. My head's too large for hats? Yeah, I have a big head too, and a lot of hair. That's so good. A lot of funny stuff happening in chat. I do want to thank everyone who's here today. What a great conversation we've had today. I have someone coming to look at my washing machine. It is broken, so I'm going to log off here about 5 minutes early. But for the next 5 minutes, if you have any other questions, put those in the chat. I will get to those rapid fire style and get to those as quickly as possible. Look, Dusty, when you get to be my age, Dusty never ages. Yeah, I do age. I got these gray hairs right in here that you guys would I went to my daughter's fall festival yesterday. And the lady told me, she said, "You don't look old enough to have a 4-year-old about to be 5-year-old." I said, "Trust me, okay, these 2 girls, these 2 kids are making me old." Gray hair, he says. I do. I have a bunch of gray hair. It's all up under here. YouTube is doing it to me. All these changes they're making. Dusty and I have that immortality. Yeah, I wish. I thought those gray hairs were part of your costumes. Yeah, true financials. If only. If only. I do want to encourage you to listen and subscribe to my podcast. We've got some fun things happening. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube Creators Hub podcast and the TubeBuddy Express shows, please, 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 I encourage you to do so. I upload every single week, and I have a great guest that are YouTube creators like yourself and myself that answer questions that they've never answered before. They let you behind the curtain per se. Definitely go check out my podcast over on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, wherever you listen to podcasts. Please check out 45 going on 13. Yeah. If only. Guns of Glory Gaming Channel, how to drift from a dying game? That's a great question. How do you go from a dying game? Like Minecraft is actually having a resurgence now, but if you focused on, say, Fortnite, 10 years from now, Fortnite isn't the thing, but you're still wanting to make YouTube content, just do it. Take the plunge. Find another game that's doing well, that's being successful, and go with there. I'm still in my 30s, if only in my mind. It's all about up here. How do you feel? How do you feel? It's not about necessarily how you look or what the number is. It's how you feel. It's what I tell people all the time. Who cares how old you are? Who cares what number that is? 60-year-old, want to start a YouTube channel? Do it. What's keeping you? Why wouldn't you? What's the difference? Why wouldn't you? Yes, I'll check your podcast. Do it. It is about how your body feels, too. What content I should create for Halloween to make our viewers interested? Unfortunately, Halloween and the clicks you're going to get from that are going to dwindle very quickly. So may want to move on to, Thanksgiving, Christmas, things like that, if you're wanting to do holidays. Brent says, all about the mentality. I'm 50 and act like a child most days. My wife, I know that. My wife tells me I act like a child all the time. Face of a 15-year-old, body of a 30-year-old, brain of an ancient being. That's pretty good. I like that. I'm 47 and started my channel 3 months ago. Keep doing it, man. One of the things that Gary Vaynerchuk says, we live in a golden age of the internet where it doesn't matter how old you are. People in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s are starting businesses right now, becoming millionaires. Do it. That's all I can say to you. If I can end the stream to motivate you, I want to motivate you. Get out there. Upload that next video. I'm hitting my desk right now, okay? And also, listen and have fun. All right? Listen and have fun this Halloween. Scare some people. Remember, folks, if Dusty can, you can too. If I can do it, anyone can do it. All right, guys, these are always some of my favorite days that I get to stream on the TubeBuddy channel. We have such an amazing, wonderful, kind family here on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe here. Don't forget to get TubeBuddy. If you want, you can check the link in the description of this video, of this live stream, to check it out if you want to. I love all of you. Thank you so much for helping me and being here and being part of this thing. Really do appreciate that. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. Stay positive. Keep impacting the world positively. And I will see you guys in the next one. Happy Halloween, everyone.